Thank you for tuning in to today's collective reading. I am incredibly grateful to each and every one of you that come to these readings to validate and reinforce your own personal intuition. This is just to really help you to know that you're not alone, that your intuition is spot on. As sometimes when you're really close to things, it's a little harder to feel as confident because you are so invested. It is so close to your heart. So I hope you find those synchronicities here today. And definitely take what resonates and leave what does not. Feel free to invert, gender terms. I will typically, if the individual on the card is presented as a masculine individual, I will more than likely use that language. Feel free to invert that, because there is really no gender in the tarot, there's only energy. So, with that being said, what came through in the meditation that brought this reading into creation, I'm very excited about sharing with you guys. And it began with really asking me to look at what the nature of divine timing is. Instead of just hearing, oh, divine timing, which just means, not right now, it really asked me to look deeper. What is the nature of divine timing? To invert it, to rotate it, to look at it from another angle. And it's really beautiful to look at it from another angle. As well as the relationship between your intuition, your dreams, your visions, your downloads, your memories, those coincidences as you move through your day that bring your focus to a specific facet of memory, of self, of what's going on that isn't so coincidental. As you move through this experience of going within and learning all the different layers of self, you realize that there's no such thing as coincidence. It's all meant, designed to help you understand yourself, to move deeper into relationship with yourself. And then there's transformation leading to happiness. And the only way out is through. And the decisions that we can make, like that in and of itself can be triggering, hearing that. So yet again, the invitation to look deeper than the surface. So what do I want to transform? What do you want to transform? What do you want to keep? What do you want to maybe tweak a little bit? What do you want to empower? Where do you want to give your power? All of these things, you are radically changing and growing throughout your life. But here this is growing and changing and empowering with intention. So I have this image of like a Rubik's Cube in my hand and just spinning it as is, and then maybe tweaking a couple things here and there, maybe not having it all one color on one side, maybe having a couple of different colors mixed in on one side or another side until it's just right for where you are, for what you want. And maybe your Rubik's Cube is all one color on one side. But to look at these things and invite yourself to go deeper into that, to own it, to make it yours. So, with all of that being said, let's get into the reading for you guys and see what is specifically coming through for you. Synchronicities, symbols, coincidences. I encountered it being called a God incidence at one point, and I thought that was just choice. So I'm going to begin with some oracle cards. I will do some tarot as well to get really into the specific implication, but this particular deck, which is perfect for this reading, is around the different energies of the chakra system, of the rainbow, of resonance. So I'm going to tap 3 times for Trinity clearing. This is also right side to left, so it's receptive to information coming through. I'll do just a couple here. So, what does the collective need to know today about this in specific relation to them? What do their guardians, guides, ancestors seek to really highlight for them? Let's begin with more of their physical, their 3D, the way that they feel on a root chakra state, right? Like the root chakra state. So their safety, their foundation, their roots. Okay, ooh, smoke and mirrors. I hope this is going to be able to come through pretty clearly. This is a really, really beautiful card. And it's very poignant for what the reading is really highlighting here. I'll just set this here in the middle for now. So with smoke and mirrors, this is how you see yourself and those around you, and the layers of deception present between seeing your reflection clearly within them or experiencing, if you're incredibly empathic, experiencing what's going on within them and then observing that and being triggered by it. So it's the layers of all of that shadow work, of that hurt, of that, the masks really that we all kind of accumulate as we go through our childhood and our early adult life, and sometimes we even accumulate them in midlife to late life. Like trauma can happen at any point. Adversity that requires you to overcome can occur at any time in your life, and that requires you to sometimes put on somewhat of a self-defensive front. So it's what is between you and others that is being mirrored back, and what is clouding that. This is what is currently needing a little bit more of an in-depth when it comes to how you seek to create change with that, how you choose consciously what to keep, what to empower, what to release, what to let go. One of the beautiful things with transforming a situation such as this is the willingness to surrender that you don't understand, that you know is beyond your human personality, conscious level, to the divine, to Gaia, to surrender that is giving that over, allowing that energy to be transformed into a neutral energy for the divine and Gaia to then give back to you with love. With love. And okay, well, okay. So I'm gonna grab a tarot card for here. If you would like a little more information about the specific decks that I use, then feel free to leave a comment below. I'll try and remember to link that as well. Type that in the description. This is the Tarot of Sacred Kingdoms. And that image here represents the evil eye. In other words, it's a protection of the deck. It repels that. And this is walking through, like in my last reading, that image is walking through to the new you. Oh boy, that really just came right out. That. All right, so clarifying here with the smoke and mirrors, we have the Nine of Cups. It's like that early morning. The sun is rising, the happiness, the greatest joy that you can experience. And there's so much surprise in this, under what you don't see clearly. And even what the divine is bringing in with how you physically experience your reality and your safety and your roots and your foundation and your groundedness. Everything that you have surrendered will surrender, that you're just like, this is beyond my current experience level. This needs to go to my higher self, to the divine, to Gaia, surrendering that. And all that nature energy that they turn into love for you is coming in. It's the beginning of it. You don't quite know what's going to happen. It's a bit of a surprise because you knew everything. It wouldn't quite be like Christmas morning when you rush down those stairs when you're a little kid and you can't wait to open your present. And when it's something that you just absolutely are floored about, that is something that the divine really, really, really looks forward to, that honest, genuine resonance of joy. It's an experience that you can kind of relate to if you've gotten to a point of being a parent yourself and observing that in your child. Now, imagine that, but from divine and Gaia. So your parents, your soul parents, right, if you will. This is an example of the relationship between, divine parenthood. So let's move into the sacral. Let's move into the sacral here. The feeling that these two need to be kind of read together for the transformation side of things, as it's very hard for many in this incarnation, in this world, in Earth School, to really master the lessons of the lower chakras, to feel safe in spite of, to feel confident in creating, and with your relationship with personal power. Okay, so let's see here. Ooh, wow. Okay, like that whole bottom deck wants to come out, which tells me, ooh, they want the bottom card to be shown as well. So at the bottom we have, it is what it is, and that's number 6. So that's that doorway of walking through to the new you, to the you choose to be, to discovering yourself. And this is for the sacral, and it's a little bit of solar as well. That divine matrix of your ability to manipulate. That sounds bad, but when you choose, hey, you know what, I don't like how I feel when I smoke. When I have a cigarette in the morning, I don't like how I feel. I'm going to decide to quit. That is the manipulation of your reality by choosing to change something that you do. It's only a negative if it's a thing where, like, no matter what you do, you continually self-sabotage, you give up, right? It's only negative then. And then you want to look at what's enabling you to continue, smoking, for example. Or maybe you chronically stay up late, or you are a junk food addict, or you absolutely adore candy. This is a lot about your ability to overcome addiction. And we are created as chemical beings to be addicted to reality, to be addicted to the things that feel good. We are all addicted to food. We are. Whenever we eat something that tastes amazing, a whole slew of happy chemicals release in our brain. And it affects every system in our body. Thus, we, just as a basic example, everyone's addicted to food. We all have a relationship to it. Whether or not that addiction is something that is harming you, or it's actually creating more abundance of feeling good. Is it fueling you? Is it truly fueling you to continue forward and manifesting more? And, that's again, it is what it is. Are you ready to meet that new you that you choose to be, that makes those changes and gets to enjoy the benefits of those changes? We have a lot of fours here. 4, 4, 4, 2, 6. This comes to a 6 too. This is an 8. If you're into numerology. This will be around kind of the more intuitive coincidences, the God incidences, your dream state, the ways that the other layers of self beyond this reality communicate with you, be it subconscious, your inner child, your higher self, your own personal relationship with the divine. All right, we'll grab one here. Okay. This particular deck, I don't typically read the cards in reverse, but it is interesting that it came out in the reverse. So that tells me that this is something that only reinforces that, yeah, this is a very, very hard thing to master in this reality, in Earth School, if you will. And it's hard won. You might need to take a bit of a rest before you carry forward. You might need to, achieve the goal that you have set for yourself, and then allow yourself a moment of respite, and then go back to it. As you adjust and change and tweak things, your higher self, your guardians, your guides, your intuition, your memories, all of these things are telling you you are incredibly powerful. You've done what many could not, or you have it within you to do so when it comes to what you give birth to, what you create within you. The challenge now is exactly how supportive are you going to be of yourself here? Are you going to run yourself ragged? Or are you going to take a moment to learn the new challenge, which is, all right, I can do this now. That's awesome. How do I relax into this? It's very possible because you look at this card. This guy he's been single-minded. He has not shaved. He's in a very desolate place. He's very focused and driven. He probably wouldn't take kindly to someone interrupting him for directions. In other words, he's very focused on where he's going. The challenge now is that he has this, this staff, this wand fully lit up, ready to go. Like it's go time. This has been attained. This has been worked for. This has been achieved. How do you enjoy? How do you create an oasis now when all you've known is struggling and overcoming, right? Which also tells me that this is definitely a reading for the collective that tuned in earlier to one of my previous readings here recently. And I am making an effort to keep the yellow light in place, but I just did not like the setup with that other camera. So I would like to pull on the transformational aspect of this, probably more towards the end, actually. Yep. Okay. So, I'm going to move these about here. Okay, so we're going to go with the solar plexus card here now. Card for the solar plexus. So this is your personal power, your will, your personal sense of self, and your ability to say X and X happens or X is, to set your boundaries with the energies here. Because these cards would not be coming out for your sacral or your root chakra if your personal will was not very muchly engaged. Something that you have a very strong sense of. Beautiful. That's gorgeous. Because it does speak to transformation. And willing, your will, solar plexus, willing to release, willing to surrender that which is beyond the consciousness, the personality, the 3D experience that we have that is of other realms, of higher dimension, of future self. That willing surrender, which has allowed this cascading to occur. And there's a butterfly in there, so there's a new beginning. There's a new beginning. That new release is, or that new release, oh, beautiful. That's not a coincidence. So there's a new release that is coming now. This is not just speaking to what has happened. This is a new layer right now that's being highlighted for you and what's being released. And I'm really getting that it's a learning of self. It's a discovering of you and your vastness. And the Shakti energy came through with the meditation, and I had encountered how, like earlier in my day, oh, beautiful, that really wanted to come out. Now this kind of came out on its side. So this can be something that's in process right now. Something that is the new release. So you've already surrendered a lot to the divine and Gaia, transforming all of that you don't understand, that you can't see clearly, that is of shadow and smoke and illusion to them, to turn it into a neutral energy, for them to transform and bring that energy back, put their stamp of love for you back on that energy and give it back to you. This is karma. This is abundance. This is love for you coming back to you because you trusted, showed faith consistently, no matter what came through. On top of that now is new releasing that's coming through. On top of this consistency, this is what's currently going through right now, your current challenge. Oh, yeah. Thank you for bringing my mind back to that, Divine. The Shakti energy. It talked about how in ancient times and current times, there was, weapons talked about in the mythology that were called Shakti. And one of them, in the meaning of Shakti, spoke of the lotus, the 1,000-petaled lotus, very synchronistic with the crown chakra. And the power within awareness of all of those petals of you, right? All of those petals, being aware, receptive to that. It requires a bit of transformation to be present for all the things that didn't work out for you in your life along the way to this moment, possibly something current, in order to fully move into the Two of Cups, this abundance of co-creation. It's definitely emotion, could be love within self, for self. I would start here with it being a co-creation with divine, and then from there, that can move out to how it's reciprocated and shown back to you in the world around you. Within people, dynamics, situations, projects, things even. But it's being willing to let go of once was that doesn't serve you anymore, to move towards what does. And it's poignant that there's a third cup. It's not two cups, two cups. There's a third energy. This tells me there was a karmic contributor. There was a third cup. It was karmic. And it's why it was disappointing. It was why it was heartbreaking. Because you wanted it to work out. You wanted it to be good. You wanted all three cups to be great. But for whatever reason, the karmic energy could have been, a family member, a consistent dynamic that repeated over and over in your life. It could be objects, places, things. It does not have to be people. It's about how you relate to it. It's not about it. It's about you. So you're moving into this state of, looking more at the 2 cup versus having the 3. So you're wanting to turn towards that. So it's releasing that. It's in that process of willing to release that did not work. And even if that part of it is you, willing to release the parts of you that would enable that third cup that didn't necessarily have divine love and light predominantly present within it. What energy within you was enabling that? It's that willing release of that. Because I don't know about you, but I want to be happy. And I'm pretty sure you do too. So it's also really poignant too that there is that light, that illumination around the figure. It's the awareness of that. It's almost the saying goodbye is something that's coming through, and it begins within self. All right, so let's go to the heart chakra. Merry motive. Ooh. Well, that's beautiful to be coming through, which is part of why this is able to happen, because this is the foundation. Wow, I could even feel a difference in the energy of, ooh, yeah, this is definitely heavy, but this is able to happen because it's like you're freshly minted, shined and illuminated and dancing with joy at the discovery of your own abundance of love within self, because you've connected to all of those petals of the lotus of you. It's like being aware of your oversoul in a way, which is a very abstract concept, but the 1,000-petal lotus, it's like all of you is connected, which is very mind-blowing and incredibly beautiful. So you have connected that with the heart space. You have connected the center of the bridge between the physical reality and the higher dimensions. So, I mean, that is why I was just so excited when this came through. Let's get a tarot card here for the collective to kind of highlight. Ooh, that hot. Ah, we have the world. How beautiful. How beautiful. Ah, okay, this is just such gorgeous artwork. So I'll bring that up to the camera. Hopefully you guys can see it a little bit better. Yeah, it's being on that it's like there's a brilliant sword of light right in the middle, like the truth within the circle of, I'm hearing the circle of life. Yeah, the you, the truth within all of you. This is also 21. So we have 21, 42, 44, 49, and 20, which will break down to 6, 8, 13 to 4, and 2, and this to 3. This is co-created with the divine. This here, definitely co-created with the divine. This is that gift coming in. You're aware that you are the gift. The discovery of all that you are, the love that you contain within you, that you can express, that you can gift to those around you, that you can experience. You are that gift. The awareness of how amazing you are, how the divine and Gaia see you. In the meditation, I had an example come through that it really resonates with this time of year. So when you're manifesting something, you have your awareness that you're physically aware of. So for example, it's Christmas time and you go into the stores and there's those certain products that are only on the shelf during the holidays. And you have that one candy or that, like a certain brand of eggnog or ice cream that you can't wait for Christmas time to be able to have access to it. However, when you're manifesting, how you view yourself, how worthy you are of what you manifest. When you're dreaming, do you dream of 50% off, discounted day after Christmas favorite candy? If it's still there when you get there, because more than likely, my collective has good taste, their favorite candy is a lot of other people's favorite candy. Their favorite chocolate, their favorite eggnog, their favorite ice cream is going to be more than likely gone. It's going to be cleared out. So, is that where you're dreaming at, like the reduced price to your favorite thing, unless it's sold out? Or are you manifesting that, you know what, I'm going to buy my favorite candy at full price, my favorite item at full price before the holiday, because I'm worth it, because I deserve it, because I love me. It's that confidence, right? And definitely like apply this to different things than holiday candy. What the divine and Gaia want to give you is something that they feel is equal to how much they view you, how much love they see within you and feel for you. And that is beyond just root, sacral, solar. It is beyond our physical experience. So when they are putting their stamp on that neutral energy that you have given them, that you've surrendered to them, that was negatively experienced by you, when you surrender that, and you put it in a state of neutral, they put their stamp of energy on it and give it back to you. It's going to be up in these areas and trickle down here. So it's beyond what we're aware of, what you're even contemplating asking for. So the world that the divine and Gaia want to give you, that they have co-created with you, is a world that you haven't even fathomed yet what's possible to be experienced here and here. So the invitation here, if ever there was one, is to recognize that you are more than you seem at face value. You're more than what you appear to be in the physical reality. So when you manifest like this, to open yourself to the concept that the way that this positive love energy will come into your life with the stamp of love, yep, Gaia, yep, the divine, they co-created this special thing for me, with my higher self, with all my 1,000 petals of me. It's going to be beyond what you consider. And to be open to that, allows it to come in. To know that you're not going to be able to define it in detail. And to be okay with that allows this beautiful world to come through. This brilliant, all of you truth to come through. And that is very muchly something that comes through you with your willing to release, with your moving forward, with your surrendering of that smoke and mirrors kind of thing to clear mirror, because you've surrendered the smoke, right? Just beautiful. All right. Let's look at the throat chakra. What does the collective need to have highlighted for what they can speak to? What their truth is that could be spoken? What is desiring to be spoken? Oh, freedom. 10, completion. Look at how beautiful that butterfly is. And you have another butterfly on the outside, like, hey man, why don't you come out here and, fly around a bit, right? Just beautiful. Also the coin. The coin is the pentacle, the offer, the abundance is within you. Yet again, you are that abundance. So you can bring in, through the power of your voice, of your truth, can speak to you, to your awareness. I'm going to grab this here. Oh, we have the Tower, which is number 16, which comes to 7. Now with this card, it's breaking down that cage. It's the proverbial caterpillar breaking out of the cocoon. It's you coming out of hermit mode and sharing all of this that you have learned from within you that has been divinely co-created. All of this beautiful awareness of you. Almost as though in hermit mode, you gained a level of enlightenment, and the world needs more light. We need more light. We need more vibrant color. We don't need just black and white. We need some ambiguity, some different shades of mixing of the black and white to understand ourselves better, to have more experience of that eternal contrast. It's already getting into like higher level, like conversation, like way of talking about it here. I'm going to try to ground this into everyday experience. So whatever you choose to bring with you into tomorrow, when you go to bed, when you wake up in the morning, the decisions that you make, from the micro to what pants you wear, what color socks, to the macro of, am I going to stay doing this job? Am I going to move? All of these decisions, you're moving into them with this awareness of being connected to all of you. and that this beautiful experience awaits you. So this changing, this breaking down of the cage is, at this particular pole here, I think it's kind of like half enabling me or allowing me to self-sabotage. And the other half, is really awesome. So I'll keep half of it. By the end of it, you might be left with like a beautiful swing for the butterfly to hang out on. Not a cage. So being willing to make this change consciously, you're gifting yourself to yourself and thus yourself to the world. You're birthing yourself and you're speaking this into existence. When you share your truth, when you share yourself, even if you have conversations with yourself, you're still, the spoken word has power. The metaphor that comes to mind there is, if a tree falls in a forest and there's no one, there's no human to hear it, does that mean that it didn't make a sound? It made a sound. Like a human being doesn't need to observe it for it to have made sound. There are animals, there are other trees. It has been proven they do communicate with one another. There are other animals, birds. You can feel vibration in the earth as the tree falls. Like, there is impact when you speak truth. The mustard seed that moves the mountain. This change is occurring because you spoke a truth. And that truth is in such a pure receptivity to your future, no longer containing something that you find unacceptable to continue to exist within this experience. Which brings me to the third cup. You want to? You want to? Not the third. You want to. For example, this could be many different things. But when you spoke that truth, this is not acceptable to come into my future, be in my present anymore, this started happening. Because you were so receptive to that no longer being a thing, it was not a thing anymore. The power of your voice in that moment collapsed timelines in your life, in your possible timelines, and thus possible timelines of others. People that you wouldn't end up meeting. Projects, purchases that you wouldn't end up buying or contributing to. It collapsed timelines because you stood within your power. You were so incredibly receptive to only living lives without that smoke in the mirror anymore. You deserve to be safe and to know your roots, your foundation. And that was spoken to here, which solidified this. And all the other cascading beautiful things that come. So stoked for you guys. I'm so, what comes to mind is there is so much that has gone into helping you get here. All of your guardians, your guides, the different versions of you that have lived the different timelines, that have come back to talk to you, i.e. your higher self, to send you those coincidences to help you focus in a specific place. Proud of you. They're proud of you for that. But it's a humble, because it was not easy. It was not easy. Many, as said multiple times, Earth School is not for the faint of heart. Earth School is for those of pure heart, and you are. Earth School is where you learn how to have pure heart. And still, even when you have every reason to give up, not to remain open to love, to remain open to co-creation with divine. Just beautiful. All right, now we're going to do the third eye. I'm very intrigued as to exactly what is going to be highlighted here for you. Imagine something with higher self. Ooh, the land between. That image real close there. That's another 40. Foundational. It may be the third eye, and you may be connecting. Let me set this down here. You may be connecting to a land in between. Thus, the intuition, the dreams, the visions, the downloads, the synchronicities, being open to entertaining what is coming through for you is the land between. Your root chakra is not, the end of the chakras of the human body. There are chakras that go even lower, like your earth heart chakra. That's what comes to mind. So your connection in love with Gaia is lower than even just the base of the spine. It's connecting to the heart of Gaia, grounding this intuition. All right, well, I'm going to get a clarifier on that before I speak to that, but Three of Cups. Which is interesting because over here it's talking about a Three of Cups that you're like mourning one to move towards the other two, the new two. So the reason why I did not want to just speak is because I'm very protective of this space. And this could be for just a few in the collective, but there is a new third cup. It's almost as though, like here I use what came through was the analogy of there's three cups and one has just a little too much of the darker, more manipulative, deceptive energy within it. And it's the mourning of that, because there was light present within that. So it's the mourning of that. This is the third cup being presented. It's almost as though that light that you were mourning has been going through and being nurtured and guided and healed with divine, so that you have that third cup that is balanced. It's not predominantly more of the manipulative, negative, deceptive energy. It's balanced. So you can co-create with two other balanced cups as well as the one that you provide. So 3 cups. So intuitively, you know this, that there's some mourning, the willing release of that, but there is a strengthening of the light that was present in that third cup, but you have to release that third cup in order to accept this third cup, which is that light, healed, nurtured, balanced. If we were to use people, you're not losing a person. They have healed and transformed. So they are balanced. That's what's going on here. So it's grounding that in. It's co-created, communicated between the divine and your 1,000-petaled lotus, all of you present. If this is not a person, it's a dynamic that continues to repeat, and you're willing to do a different dance, in other words, with the way that you experience life. So if you, for example, experienced being bullied as a child, as a teenager, and you found yourself repeating that same dynamic as an adult in a work experience, for example, you will find yourself possibly exposed to that very same dynamic, but because you have done all of this work within, because you have gone within in the hermit mode and you've worked on yourself, you've healed yourself, you've decided what to bring with you, what not to bring with you, that to manifest your reality takes your decision to do so. That in surrendering to divine, you bring in a clearer reflection, less smoke in the mirror, more awareness of exactly how much you are loved, how safe you are, how loved you are. So that when that situation and dynamic presents again, you're not the same person you were. You're going to move different, react different, feel different. You may process the old pattern for a moment, and then you will move as you choose. It won't be a knee-jerk reaction. It'll be a, oh, this is familiar. Huh. Well, I'm going to do this, which is not what you possibly did in the past, which was to immediately react. And to give that power, that energy to it, that emotional oomph. Right. Now for the crown chakra, the place that 1,000-petaled lotus sits. Ooh. Oh, okay. All of those. Ooh. Okay. So we actually got 3. First, we have a higher view, which this is poignant because the higher self, it's the future self. The owl is an incredibly aware, like the sounds, the vibrations, if you research a little bit into how they are aware of their environment, how precise their senses are, there's a reason the owl is on this card. And it's the tying down, the connecting down into you. If you look at that circle there and that, you are that. But you're also you. It's the connection to that oversoul that came through earlier. And validating that is body and soul. This is anchoring into the physical reality. You have that, which I believe is going to be that circle part there. So we're going to do that. You have that 1,000-petaled connection. You are aware of self, all of self. And that's bringing in this abundant new beginning with the dragonfly, which is a well-known symbol for new beginnings. There's also that green heart-shaped lily pad. And the stars are present throughout this. And finally, we have this. So we have 4, which is 5, 5, and then 8. So we have completion. These two are basically backing each other up. It's just beautiful. So I'm going to set these down here. Oh, I hope this is all available on the video. And I'm going to try to, I think it should be. It should be. It's kind of new for me doing this setup, so please bear with me. Into me, I see is the final one for the crown chakra that came out. And, you know, she's completely covered. She's completely covered. But that awareness, this is you in your experience of this day to day, moving through your life, that you are incredibly connected, all of you. There's a youthfulness to it, almost a childlike innocence to it, a humbleness, because you know this isn't just you that made this happen, that it was co-created, that it was gifted to you. Yes, you made decisions that brought you here, but you're not alone in this, and you have respect for that. You know, the other petals of you, and the oversoul, the divine timing, all the things that we don't see, that we don't understand. But yeah, we kind of get upset at times because it's just too much to not know, to not understand. We're hurting. As we make decisions, even to express that frustration, the divine is like, all right, you're ready for this then. Okay, here we go. We're going to bring what you need to you because you say you're ready. Let's do it. As you move into yourself more and more on this journey of learning who you are and what life is and what all this stuff means, you're moving closer and closer and closer to living an authentic life, genuinely in connection with self. And that awareness that every step, every moment, every thought, every feeling is in co-creation. You're never truly ever alone, even if you feel you are. And believe me, I know there's times on this journey where you're going to feel alone. This is that reminder that you're not. This is that spirit coming through and trying to give you a hug right now. That whatever is going on here, this is good. This is movement towards what you really, really, really want. Sometimes letting go of the cage is scary. Sometimes it hurts. But just like with a wound, for example, when it starts to itch, it's healing. Oh, you want to itch it. So even though it hurts and it's irritating, it's healing. It's healing. All right, so let's just get a summary of all of this beautiful energy. Let's get anything that speaks to transformation, as well as just the overall. You know, actually, I think we're going to do one of the. No. That's overcomplicating it. There's so much energy coming through with this one. I want to, meet every need that I feel is coming through that's unique and different for each person. Oh boy. Okay, so we're going to do some Moonology cards. And if I'm still called to, I got the Prism Oracle deck over here as well. So let's do 3 cards and a crossing card for the collective today. Just to summarize, bring it all together. Okay. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3. A little bit of a shuffle here. And a 4th one. Okay. Okay, so we have new moon in Taurus. So you have a new beginning. that you've been very focused, driven, know your worth. I think it's poignant that it lands on that 9 of Wands. This person definitely knew what they wanted, knew their worth, and they were blinders. I'm going in that direction, period. Any other direction, unacceptable. Know your worth and speak your world into being, which the power of your voice, the Tower, what you spoke when you said, this is not acceptable, I will not accept this. You spoke it with such receptivity to that only being that way. You were so open to that chapter, that door, that energy, that aspect just no longer being a part of your experience, period. That focus you spoke in your world was created that way. You spoke it into being, which is beautiful. And it's in Gemini. It's first quarter. So this has been something that the seeds have been planted for quite some time within you. And with the Gemini, it's something that is going to be mirrored back to you, or for some of those in the collective, this has been something that another energy that perfectly mirrors moves with you, the second cup, or the third that would be coming in. However that resonates for you, you're mirroring it. It moves when you move. They move when you move. The project, the dynamic, the energy, be it spiritual and manifesting in the physical, or spiritual. So it's also then coming through is full moon in Libra, finding a balance. You have those scales, and right now they're pretty much balanced. Their arms might be getting a bit tired. You have a lot of road, of journey left to travel. This is telling me that to remember all of this will allow you to remind yourself consistently, constantly, how much finding that balance, taking those actions, do those things that feed you, that fuel you, that provide that positive energy to cope with your shadow work, which part of our school is that we're always healing and transforming and learning. So there's always going to be shadow work, just sometimes it's a little less heavy. Sometimes it's easier to deal with. Sometimes it hurts. Sometimes it's a reminder. Either way, having that routine, having those dynamics, knowing what those things are that help you find center again, put you back on that path that you are choosing, will serve you well in what you're manifesting here now that you have connected fully the center of the bridge. Paired with that is new moon in Scorpio. Go deeper. Which brings me back to the beginning of the reading with to see the surface. What is the nature of divine timing now? Some people, they hear, in divine time, I know because I've had that feeling myself at some point or points during this experience of, you mean not right now? No, it can be right now. But are you receptive to accepting that being right now? So rotate that feeling you have when you hear divine timing. First, if it is triggering, or however it first hits you, flip it around. Well, what if it was the divine timing right now? All right, how would I feel about that? Am I actually ready for it to be divine timing? And if I'm not really feeling confident with that, how would I want to change things from where I am right now to where I feel like I need to be ready for divine timing? And then you take that Rubik's Cube and you adjust it and you move it and you work it until you feel that you're ready. And more than likely, in that process, the fact that you're willing to do that makes it so it's divine timing, because you're actively receptive to co-creating that, to being in a tower, to speak your world into being, to continue to seek balance, and be willing to go beneath the surface, to see the trigger, experience the trigger, and look what's underneath it. Why are you triggered? You know, I pulled these out for a reason, so let's just see what we have here. All right, just give me a couple of these here. Oh boy, okay, that really wanted to come out. Balance. I have the deck upside down in my hand. So it's just reinforcing. Balance, go deeper. The bottom we have growth and space. Hermit mode led to growth, allowed you to bloom. You went within. Beautiful reading. So with that, I will be closing the reading. Thank you very much. I'm incredibly grateful to have been the channel for this message and to have been able to provide a safe space for you to come and receive those affirmations, the confirmation of your own intuition being so close, as I know this could be very, very charging. It could be very emotional. Actually, it is incredibly emotional. Not can be, it is very emotional. So, with that being said, the divine within me honors the divine within you. Namaste.